Hello and welcome to another episode of Recovery from Politics podcast. My name is Kyle Frame. Today is still Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. So this is actually not a regular episode. This is kind of a side note addendum thing. I just saw something that doesn't really, fit the criteria of like a whole episode, but it's something that I did think I wanted to talk about. So the Daily Beast is reporting that some Ukrainians specifically think that Trump will save them from Putin, that he can be their hero, for example. And they go ahead and they cite Vitaly Klitschko. Vitaly Klitschko, former heavyweight champion of the world. He was the one who unified the belts after Lennox Lewis retired. His brother succeeded him, Vladimir, although they never fought. And they shouldn't, But anyway, he retired from boxing to go be the mayor of Kiev. And he still is. And whatever. He thinks that Trump could actually be beneficial if he wins. Regardless of the opinion, I think he's wrong. I do. But I see what's going on. Okay, let's discuss the opinion and then why I wanted to talk about it. First off, the opinion is he actually thinks that Trump would break the gridlock in Congress and allow funding to come through to help him and the Ukrainians fight against Vladimir Putin. Okay. I get why he's saying that, because right now Biden is not doing that. So why not? Obviously, Trump controls the Republican Party. If Trump tomorrow said, Republicans, I want you to fund Ukraine, they probably would. He has the power to do that. That is absolutely true. I don't think he would. Is it possible that they're falling for the same, propaganda that many Americans are here? Of course. And I have no idea. I know that the Klitschkos are not stupid people by any means. A lot of Americans may not know that, but these men are highly educated. They speak more than 4 or 5 languages each. It really is incredible. And they're not bad guys. They're not fascists or anything like that. So there's that. I think he's wrong, but I get what he's saying. And also, we have to take into account he is an elected official. He is somebody that the Ukrainian people look up to. He's one of their more famous Ukrainians, right? So he's got to put a positive spin on this. He can't sit there and be like, well, if Trump loses, we're all fucked. That's not what a politician should do. That's not what you should want from your politician. You have to be able to spin something to the best case scenario. The best case scenario for him, if Biden loses and is unable to get Washington to fund, is that Trump comes in and is able to find a way to do this, to help them. Because again, he can't. Ukraine is held together right now by hope, because we're not giving them the funding they need, and they're fighting this all by themselves. Okay, nobody else is sending in troops. This is the Ukrainian people, sure, with our weaponry, but seriously, it's them trying to take on Russia. This is massive. It is all dependent on hope. If it looks like Trump's going to start, if it starts over the summer, Trump's going to win, and then he actually does, all hope would be deflated. So, in my opinion, it is smart for a politician in Ukraine who's actually facing these things to try and maintain a positive spin, try and maintain that hope, try to tell his people, no, it's not over just because the orange man won. We have to keep going. We can still win. This could be good for us, right? Until that door is completely closed, I think it is good for a politician in his specific case and scenario to be spinning it. Is he spinning it that way, or does he actually believe it? I don't know. I'm not Ukrainian. I don't listen to every word, but that's it. Okay. The reason I wanted to talk about this has been the response. So when I first saw the story, it was on social media. I scrolled down through the comments because I wanted to see if maybe somebody was expounding on it, because I don't have access to Daily Beast. I'm not going to pay them, and it's ad blocked, so whatever. I was like, okay, I see the headline. Let's see, because sometimes the author or somebody who has read it will go ahead into detail and be like, hey, he didn't really say that, or it was taken out of context. I didn't see that. What I saw instead was a massive amount of people dismissing the opinion because clearly he's been hit in the head too many times. He has brain damage. And I find that extremely offensive. Now, in case you didn't know, I was a huge boxing fan through most of my adult life so far. It's only been recently that I kind of stopped watching. But I've been a huge, huge boxing fan. And the brain damage that some of these fighters suffer is not a fucking joke. It is very serious. It causes all kinds of issues. Okay? Now, we kind of acknowledge this to a degree with football players because they're the main, gladiators of our day who suffer horrific injuries to their head over long periods of time, and then their behavior changes. We make fun of the ones who are really far out there and crazy, like Herschel Walker just running for Senate down in Georgia, but, it really is no joke. Now, regardless of Klitschko's opinion, regardless of anyone's opinion, immediately dismissing them because they used to be in football, be a boxer, be an MMA fighter, be a wrestler, just immediately dismissing their opinion because of their past is just wrong, especially when it's something like that. Like, I get it, don't get me wrong. If Paul Wolfowitz decides to come out and give his opinion on politics, I will shit on that man all day long, every day. He has burned that bridge. But I am talking about a very specific group of individuals who put their bodies and heads on the line for our entertainment, their livelihood. And now, the reward for that is anytime they say something we disagree with, they're brain damaged. Who gives a fuck? And that is insanely classless to me. You don't have to bring that up. You can just say, hey, I think Klitschko's wrong. And move on. You do not have to sit there and attack him for it. You don't have to attack, that. You're diminishing other fighters. There are people out there right now who used to play these hard-hitting sports who can't hold a job because of it. Some of them can't maintain a relationship because of it, okay? Repeated concussions over a long period of time changes your very behavior, your personality. Okay, when I hear about somebody involved in one of these sports and then you hear about domestic violence, that's where my brain immediately goes, is, oh God, is this a result of that? It doesn't excuse it, but it's important to know that these injuries that these people sustain, the way they had to live in their youth, in their formative years to become professionals at this craft, meant that when everything is stripped away, when they have that brain damage and their ability to reason and process is stripped away, they're only left with the instinctual brain functions, which for them is violence. And it is extremely offensive to me to take someone and just immediately dismiss their opinion because of that. It's insane to me. It's extremely classless. Say you think he's an idiot. Say you disagree. Say he has a fundamental misunderstanding of who and what Trump is. After all, he's Ukrainian. He lives in Ukraine. He does not live here in the United States amongst all of us Americans. He doesn't see MAGA on a day-to-day like we do, right? He doesn't get it. You can say that. Those are all valid criticisms. You do not have to go there and say, well, he's punch drunk. Who gives a fuck? Like, oh, I can't believe the Ukrainians would elect a guy who took hits in the head his whole life. There are serious problems with a lot of athletes who say and do dumb shit all the time. We do not need to go there. Again, most of them did this for our entertainment, for the glory we throw upon them when they're in their prime. The least we can do is not insult them because they said something we don't like. I don't know. I had to put that out there real quick. It's not really an episode's worth. It says more about us than it does him. Disagree with the opinion all you want, but I really don't think we should be attacking somebody because of their past profession, especially given what it was and what they did it for It was for us. It was for us to be entertained. If we weren't entertained by it, they would not have done it. And if you really want to go there, he and his brother Vladimir were two of the last. They were the last generation of the Soviet athletic machine. I don't even know if they had a choice in this. They might have been forced into boxing, and by the time the Soviet Union broke up and all of a sudden capitalism was great and they could decide whether or not to fight, it's like, well, this is all I know. This is all I'm good at. This is my livelihood. This is my career. How do you tell somebody, yeah, I know you've hated boxing, and I doubt they did, but perhaps they hated boxing their entire youth. They hated it because it was forced on them. But then one day they don't have to anymore. That's the only thing they know. That's the only thing they've been really trained to do. It's the only thing they're known for. It's the only thing they can put on a resume. Fighter. That's not exactly going to get you hired in a lot of places. So yes, I am kind of sympathetic to boxers. I'm sympathetic to men and women who put their lives on the line for the sake of our enjoyment. And I think the least we can do is not immediately dismiss them out of hand. Oh, you've taken too many hits in the head. Your opinion is worthless. Anyway, thank you for listening. Have a good day.